Dear Dad. Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Daddy.
Quiet, everybody.
I don't know that I've seen a lot of cases personally where the father is not there, but I think even when you have a situation that dad is out of the house but he's contributing, that helps the child. Mom is able to do more because there's more money available to her to do whatever it is the child needs. I don't think that I've had a situation that dad is completely not there. There are situations that exist that dad's not there, but I always encourage people to definitely get dad involved.
Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. You make me happy because you do things for me. You get me new shoes, and you get me new clothes, and you get me new things like shoes and clothes.
Oh man, it's a good question. My biological father met my mom years ago when she was in high school, and back then, if you know, I guess age limits and things like that, and wasn't a big deal. So they had a relationship. At that point, my mother was conceived with me, and the moment she was conceived, she told him, and he got out of Dodge, man. He transferred schools and went to teach at a different high school and things like that. And my mother was stuck with the thoughts and the concerns of whether she should keep me or not, So, with help from my grandmother, and by the grace of God, my mom decided to keep me, man, and she raised me on her own, and for some years until she met my stepfather, that was that.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Daddy, I love you so much because you play with me and you love me. And you pick me up and you take me to Pancake House.
Never thought I would be one, actually. I guess I say that to say, and I never prepared myself to have children. You know what I mean? I never really gave a full-fledged thought of, the financial responsibility and the spiritual responsibility that it took to raise a child. Basically, to answer your question, I did what I had to do.
Strict. Because there are some things that a kid should and shouldn't do. Like if they sneak out the house without my permission, it would be bad.
My most memorable moment is when my son was born. And I couldn't wait to see. How he looked like me. And, I immediately checked to see if he had all 10 toes and all 10 fingers and both his eyeballs and 2 nostrils. But yeah, just to see my firstborn, take his first breath. That stays with me.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. My name is Jasmine Green. My dad's name is James Frederick Green. Dear Dad, for our spring 2014, or our spring break 2014, we went to Orlando, Florida. We had a great time. We went to Universal Studios, had dinner, went on rides. If it wasn't for you, we would not have had a great time. Love, Dad.
Obviously him being absent in my life has affected me tremendously, with me messing up in school and me getting kicked out of school and things like that. Giving my mom a real hard time as a teenager. I went those years. I went over the years of crying and confusion and, blaming myself and blaming my mom. And so all that's over with. I would actually, me being a man now and me raising my own children and my life actually turning out okay, me finishing high school and me doing a year of college, me understanding, what it takes to be a man, that anger's gone, But I definitely would ask him why. I don't want to say what I want to say, but why'd you, run away from a responsibility, You missed out on a lot, man. You missed out on me, winning the spelling bee in grammar school. You missed out on your grandchildren being born. And you missed out on the questions that I had. You missed out on raising a good guy from a young boy into a man. Years ago, it would have been a lot of anger, but today, my anger's gone.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad.
My name is Christopher Robinson, and my dad's name is Jason Robinson. Dear Dad, thank you so much for being my wonderful dad. I know we had some disagreements, but I still love you. I like when we played on the PS4 and you beat me with Michael Jordan 2K16. You are so good at it. Then I remember when you take me and my brother around the block on our bikes. I love that and you still do that. I still like when you take me to Louisiana to see your mother and father. It was so hot down there. I just want to stay there because it's so cold up here. I love when you take me to the carnival and we both get dizzy after the ride. That was funny. Now I like when you take me to practice because you're assistant coach. Then I really like when you show me how to pretty pictures. I love you, Dad. You are Christopher.
Child support in Illinois for one child is 20% of your net income minus certain deductions, and it's statutory, and that's the standard. If there are 2 children by the same mother, it's 28%. And if you have joint custody and depending on the parenting time, sometimes you can deviate from the guidelines. But right now, Illinois is guidelines, and it's pretty close to that 20% as a standard.
The most difficult part of being a father within the court system is how the court system allows my child's mother use them to her advantage. Meaning, she knows that if she takes me to court, that I'm the one that has to pay her attorney fee. So there's really nothing that falls back on her that hinders her, you know.
I think that oftentimes men have their own misconceptions that if they are in the system paying child support, that they are perceived to be bad fathers. And that could be true in some cases, that mom had to take them to court because they weren't doing what they needed to do for their child. But that's not the case in every case.
I'm stuck with defending myself with an attorney that I have to pay goo gobs of dollars for. In addition to that, I have to pay for her attorney fees. In addition to that, I have to pay whatever arrears that she's lying, saying that I owe. And there's been several times I've asked the court system to allow my son and my daughter, would think they're old enough to come in and speak for themselves and give some insight on whether I've been negative in their life or positive. I'm highly confident if that was allowed, that the court system would look totally different on bad-mouthing fathers and looking down on us and things like that. So just more evidence on what, you know, what my dollars go toward, you know, my character.
Oftentimes there are moms that will take the father to court because they think that child support is punishment. And child support definitely should not be seen as punishment. It is to help support your child. You still have a financial responsibility to your child, even if your relationship with mom is not intact.
He's a much better person than he's made out to be.
More concerned with the father and child relationship is what I would like to see different.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. I love you so much, and thank you for buying me an Xbox One. Thank you for letting me play your game with you, and thank you for being with me, and I love you so much.
I think there's definitely some problems that need to be ironed out in this system, but you know, what are those problems? Well, jail time. You know, if you fall victim to losing your job or your job downsizes or some things like that, your freedom is being threatened to be taken away. I don't agree with that. I think that's part of the Jim Crow law. I think that's a new age Willie Lynch syndrome, you know, to divide and conquer, to keep the black family down. And the reason why I say black family, and I'm not speaking about Caucasians or Latinos, is because it's majority black men and black women and black children that are in this system. It affects us and our people more than it does any other race statistically, if you look at the facts.
Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. My name is Kiva Hill and my dad's name is Kevin Hill. Dear Dad, thank you for helping me this season. I love the way you smile. I love you all the time. Thank you for teaching me how to fix stuff by myself. Thank you for teaching me how to ride a bike. Do you remember when we was outside looking for eggs? I was crying because I did not find an egg. You helped me and I want to thank you. Love, Kiva, your daughter.
Yeah. I'd like to add that I am not against the child support system at all. I think it's a good thing. I think it needs to be evaluated and analyzed a lot thoroughly. But there are children out here who definitely need that support.
Modification of child support. People oftentimes modify the child support up and down. I think it's very important for dads. If your income changes, it's very important that you go and modify your child support up or down. Sometimes dad don't like to do it up, but if it's found out, oftentimes you'll owe an arrears, which is never good because that runs you into getting your license suspended, your passport suspended, and just a string of other headaches. Even sometimes going to jail. So I definitely always recommend, if you earn more, go and get the 20% recalculated. If you lose your job, immediately go modify, because the court has no way of knowing that your situation has changed. The onus is on dad to go in and say, hey, court, listen, I am no longer employed making that $100,000 a year. I'm only making $25,000, so I can't afford what I used to afford. So that's important that they go in and modify. Extremely important.
Child support is not just financial. Child support is when a father is there to give the moral support and to raise your children, whether boy or girl, from the bottom up, and to teach those lessons to. And I think the child support system, this is what they leave out. I don't want to use the word victim because I don't want any sorrow. I don't want people to look and feel sorry for me or any other brother in the child support system. I just want change to come about. I think change needs to happen. I think it needs to be evaluated. So that's what I have to add to that.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad.
My name is Dante Johnson. My daddy's name is Willie Dante Johnson. I love my dad because he does me like he should. He plays games with me and my mom. And that's why I love my dad.
Our family.
Tom off of Tom and Jerry.
He's very humble and sweet and kind.
He's a good dad, and I'm thankful to have him. He took us snow sledding. We both like the same TV shows.
We eat a lot.
He's never on time, but I am.
I dance and he raps. Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad.
Go ahead.
My name is Destiny Johnson. My dad's name is Willie Dante Johnson. I know what we did wrong, and it's too late to say I'm sorry, but I know we let you down. As the Father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him, for he knows how we are formed. He remembered that we are dust. What this means to me is that we should love our fathers. We would not be in life if it wasn't for you. I love you, and I love to spend time with you, and would not want to lose you. I would take you and love you forever because you brought me into this world. Love, Destiny.
He shows us respect and stuff.
Probably have less respect for myself than I do, like most girls.
Yes, because he teaches us how to be. Well, if we like had a boyfriend, he will teach us how to get the right man, like not to get one of those kind of men with their pants hanging down and doesn't have respect for girls. No.
No. That some things that she thinks is that he's doing out of spite isn't really meant in the way that she thinks it is. That I love him.
I'll always be your sunflower. Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad.
My name is Jayla Reed, and my dad's name is Kevin Hill.
What's your dad's name again?
Kevin Hill. I love you so much, and the way you teach me things. Thank you so much for encouragement and to be better as a young man. You teach me how to spin a ball in my fingers, play football, and how to play basketball. You told me to talk and throw the football far. I remember how you gave me my nickname. Do you remember the time you took us to the park and we did backflips and I was scared? I can't even name how many things you taught me because it was a lot. One thing you need to know is I love you as much as you love me. Thank God you're still here. Love you.
Thank you, Javon.
not surprised though, you know, because I know, you know, how I treat them and I know how they accept it. So, yeah, I feel good about it though. Well, when Casimir told me that she would always be my sunflower. I call her that all the time, you know. But they have a younger sister Taylor that I call Booger, and I call her Digit, because she's the last child and I'm a half. So I call her Digit and Booger. Well, I give them nicknames, but. My time that I spend at home from work, I think I'm not home as much as I would like to be. I wish I could be there more to help them with their homework, you know. I mean, when I am there, they automatically go straight to their mother. You know, they don't come to me. It kind of bothers me a little bit. Like, hey, you just walk right past me, go to your mother and ask her about this math problem. I'm sitting right here, you know. So, I mean, other than that, I think I'm all around a good guy though, good father.
Dear Daddy. Dear Dad. Dear Dad. Dear Dad.
My name is Samuel, and my father's name is Roland McClendon. I appreciate your kindness, integrity, and commitment. You have sacrificed so much for this family. I have so much of you in me. I have your athletic abilities, I have your stressfulness, and I have your lovable personality. I remember when I was 8, and on Christmas you gave me something. I wrote this every Christmas since I saw it. It was an Xbox 360 and I loved it. I also remember when you took me and my best friend in 2nd grade to Safari Land. Another time was when you took me to that laser place for my friend Michael's birthday in 4th grade. And when you took me and my friend JJ to the movies when I was 7. You have done so much for me, and I thank you for that. Love, your son, Shane Clinton.
I'll always be your sunflower.
Most people don't have their dad with them. They're like separate and they're stayed with their mom.
Fathers play an important role, a lot more important than people oftentimes give them credit for.
I mean, as well, telling me this may not be the best fit for the child.
My biological father, man, him leaving my mom, you know, when she was young and you know, just conceived me and I wasn't even born, man, I found all that out. It crushed me, you know. And I never wanted another child to go through that, especially coming from me and being mine. So